I like to tell the history of Quad in chapters. Chapter 1 was my father was the founding entrepreneur. Chapter 2 really began after the recession. He passed away in 2002, but where we really had to shift gears was in 2009, where we became a consolidator of the industry. And we pursued several acquisitions that were of size. So we were $1.8 billion at the beginning of Chapter 2. We acquired a $3 billion company, then a $1 billion company, then a $500 million company to become what we are today. And then as we think on a go forward, Chapter 3 is about transformation. So now that we consolidated all these parts of the industry, we make sure that the resulting platform is very strong and sustainable, and at the same time transform how we play in a multi-channel world in terms of how people use not just a printer, but all the different channels together. Well, Quad has benefited from the role of the board tremendously over the past, especially 6 years, if not a decade. And we've gone from being a private company to a public company. We've gone from $1.8 billion in revenue to $4.7 billion in 6 years in a very difficult industry that's been disrupted. And I think every industry is disrupted, but we're the poster child for it, being in print. And so having a very strong board with a good sort of cultural interaction that we have with camaraderie and with the willingness to argue with each other has been hugely important for us navigating very complex waters. I use a board. I don't manage a board, I use it to help figure out how to navigate this. And so we have various backgrounds, and I think each board has a personality, not just in how they interact, but what their backgrounds are. I do a lot of one-on-one depending on what the topic is and who has the best expertise on the board. And that's been everything for me because in addition to, doing this in a tough industry, I took this on at a pretty young age, in my late 30s. So it's been very important, not just from strategy, but also just as a sounding board to make sure I'm thinking about things correctly. And so having a board that has dug in to really understand that journey that we've been on has been very helpful, as now, as we are really in Chapter 3, we've executed on a lot of parts of that strategy. Where we used to be a printer who printed a really high quality product for someone, now we're a company that does print that's going to help you grow your business by tackling the marketing question in a much more connected, sort of practical way, which is what most marketers are trying to look for today.